Hey guys, it's Joelle, and today's video is actually not a beauty video. It is a surviving high school dance edition. The reason I'm starting to do videos like this is I'm trying to start to transition my blog from being less just beauty, but also lifestyle. So just a more holistic type of blog with just sort of tips that I've acquired through my experience of being a high schooler. So I just thought I'd share some of the tips I have for you guys who may be just starting high school and you've never gone to a high school dance before. So yeah, I just had some tips hopefully to allow you guys to have the best time possible. And this is geared more towards girls just because I feel like I can't speak for boys' experience. It's probably a little different from what I've experienced. And let's get into it. First tip I have is organized to go to the dance with a group of friends. I know this sounds pretty basic. I know homecoming's coming up for a lot of you guys. It's normally a dance where you have a date, but when you go with just your date, it's not nearly as fun as with going with a group of people because the dances are really social events. So you want to use this, especially as a freshman, as be your first dance, to really just get to know a lot of people and share the experience with as many people as possible. Next tip is don't let the hype psych you out or anything. Towards the season of dances, when people are starting to ask each other, it is going to get pretty dramatic at times and people will be like, oh my gosh, like who's gonna ask who? But don't let that freak you out. It really does not have a huge effect on your time at the dance. The dance it is what it is. You can make it whatever you want it to be. Tip number 3 would be make sure you bring extra shoes, especially if it's a formal dance. You'll probably be wearing heels or something like that. And dancing all night in heels is so uncomfortable and your feet will be so hurt and tired by the end of the night that I really recommend bringing a pair of extra maybe flats or even sneakers that you can change into at whatever point you want. Don't be afraid of what people think while you're at the dance. A lot of times people can be really self-conscious about dancing in front of people. They're like, oh, I'm awkward, I can't do this. Or you could be like, I don't really feel like dancing right now, but I'm afraid to stop dancing because if I do, then maybe people will think I'm a loser. But truth is, their opinions on what you do not matter. If they want to judge people, that's their problem. They need to deal with that internal insecurity that they probably have, but don't let that ruin your night just because you feel like you have to do something or you can't do something because of what other people are going to say. Tip number 5, I don't know how you guys feel about this. This may come as a little bit of shock to you. There's a style of dance called freaking, and for those of you who may not know what it is, Urban Dictionary defines it as freaking. Obscene dancing which simulates sex by the grinding of the genitalia with suggestive sounds/movements, often done to pop or hip-hop or rap music. If you guys have never heard of freaking, that probably sounds really bizarre to you and kind of gross. I don't want to tell you what you can or cannot do, but I just want to put it out there that it is not classy to freak or grind with people, and people don't want to see you doing that. Also, it could very well be not allowed at your school and you don't want to get kicked out because of the way that you were dancing. I don't know, when you think about it, if you were to look at yourself through a movie screen or something and see what you're doing, like freaking or grinding, it's really sad, and I don't know, personally, I sort of disagree with it, but just want to put it out there that that is something a lot of people do, so be aware of that. But don't feel any way pressured to have to dance like that just because other people are. It's better to have a date who is a really good friend than someone who you don't know very well and just think is attractive, because chances are, though they may be outwardly very appealing to you, their personality may not be the kind of person that you want to spend a night with, and you'll more likely have a really nice time if you go with someone that you actually genuinely like as a person. I know as girls, a lot of times people are like, oh, like you have to wait to get asked and stuff like that. No, that's not true. You can ask whoever you want. You don't have to let their opinions and gender roles prevent you from going with someone that you would actually like to go with. And I'll make a video later on creative ways to ask people to dances, so keep your eye out for that. The idea of having a date that you may not actually like leads into my next point, which is don't let anyone make you do something that you don't want to do, or let anyone make you feel uncomfortable. This applies primarily to dates, especially if you don't know them very well. Say they're trying to grind or freak with you and you don't want to. Don't be afraid to just look at them and be like, no, I am not interested in whatever you're trying to do, and just walk away. Honestly, if they don't get the message, number 1, there's something probably wrong with them, but number 2, I would recommend staying within a group of friends, or if it gets really bad and they're really making you uncomfortable, don't be afraid to go to a teacher. If someone is driving you to that point, they should not be at that high school dance. So don't feel bad to let them know like this person is not behaving themselves appropriately to be here. And I know it sounds really bad, you don't want to be like a snitch or whatever, but don't be afraid to like respect your rights and stand up for yourself. Tip number 7 is drugs and alcohol do not make your experience any better, especially for dances, though this applies to life in general. A lot of people, especially in the higher grades of high school, will be like, oh, let's go pregame, which is essentially just getting really drunk before some sort of function or event. Honestly, that does not make your time any better, especially at school organized events, because number 1, it's still illegal. Number 2 is it's dangerous. You could do things that you wouldn't do if you were in the right state of mind, or just make really bad decisions and hurt yourself or other people. And while your brain is still developing, substances like that are going to greatly diminish the rate at which your brain is able to develop and hurt your mental capabilities. Number 3 is that it's still against school rules and you could get kicked out of the dance if you show up like that. It can ruin the nights of the people around you as well, not just yourself. So keep that in mind if people are ever trying to get you to do something like that. Okay, and my last tip is just that the experience is what you make it, so try to have fun with it. I know there's a lot of external factors that could really alter your night, but just try to enjoy yourself. High school dances are established to allow you to have a good time and get to know people and spend time with each other, not to put you under a bunch of stress. It's just one night in your life. Just try to have fun with it. Okay, so that concludes my little spiel on tips for having a successful and fun high school dance experience. One quick thing is I'm in my new room filming this. This is actually my sister's room because she moved to college. So I sort of just moved all my stuff in here because I was previously sharing a room with my little sister, so now we have a little more space to be ourselves and I can film videos without disrupting the rest of my household. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. My Instagram is joellol, and that'll be here and linked down below. Go follow that if you want more of my everyday life, which you probably don't, but yeah, just in case. And I'll see you soon. Bye!